Hey, what is up, people? This is Johnny and welcome to my top 5 Pokemon games that deserve a sequel. Number 5, Red, Blue, and Yellow. Why don't they make a sequel of the adventure of Red? This would be an interesting storyline in the game, and it would answer fans many questions of what probably happened to these characters, which we don't know what happened to them. I believe the last appearance of Red was on the mountain in Johto, and it would be just interesting to see what they could add. They could add different storylines in Kanto, or even move the whole region and just keep the character and make it as a true sequel to the game. It would be an interesting take. I don't know why they haven't done this, because it would be a major success, and I'm pretty sure many fans would want to buy the game again. Number 4, Pokemon Snap. Pokemon Snap was an original 64 game where you play as a character. You go around with a camera taking pictures of several different Pokemon in different environments. This was actually a pretty interesting gameplay of new innovative gameplay that was different from many games at its time, and I believe no other game has been made like this one, where you can actually go and take pictures. Oh, as well as the Pokemon, there was a whole environment. You could throw Pokeballs at him, and you could do a whole bunch of different stuff with him. However, the game was fairly short, and I mean, imagine them adding more Pokemon into the newer version. If they make a sequel, they would be able to add a bunch of Pokemon into the environment, where there would be like 720 Pokemon, I believe, or 19 there are now. There would be a lot of Pokemon in different environments, with being able to take pictures of them. Number 3, Pokemon Stadium, an original 64 game, and had its sequel, Pokemon Stadium 2. But over the years, it's been a long time since they made a sequel to this. They should make a sequel to this game as the third version of this game. Now, these are actually the same developers from Super Smash Bros. HAL Laboratory, which is another reason they might be busy developing other types of games. Now, this would be pretty cool to see a sequel to Pokemon Stadium 3. I know that Battle Revolution came out, but I would like to see a true sequel to it from the original developers. It had so many fun stuff to do in the game. You could play mini games, battles. There was actually even a tower place where you could earn badges and stuff. It was just really fun to play, and I think they should definitely make a sequel to this game. It would be awesome if they make the third version of this and make it for the Wii U. Number 2, Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal. Why don't they make a sequel to these games? I know they had their own remakes of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but making a sequel dedicated to the games of the storyline, it would be pretty amazing if you could go back into the game and go into the previous 2 regions and also add an extra region or something new in the whole storyline that would expand it from one region to another. This game was action-packed with a whole bunch of different content. It was one of the games that had the most content, and one of the awesome things about it was that you could go to 2 different regions. That made this game pretty amazing during its time, and I think it does deserve its sequel. It would be pretty awesome if you could have a sequel for this game, and I don't see anything wrong with this game actually qualifying for a sequel. I mean, it's just an amazing game, and they should definitely make a sequel. This was pretty hard to choose if it was Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, but I think I'll go with this one because Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire recently had their remakes, and they had a pretty interesting storyline that was quite different from the original. And for the final, number 1 game that deserves a sequel is Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. Now, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness was for the GameCube, and its previous game was actually Pokemon Coliseum. Now, this game had 2 games already, but it deserves a third sequel. It's time to see another sequel to the Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness adventure, or even add a new character and make an adventure out of it. This was a really good game because it had very much similarities to the handheld games, and it was really fun to play. It was just an amazing adventure as well. It had its own unique way of playing gameplay. It had a little bit of different gameplay, pretty much similar to the ones in the handheld, but it had its own uniqueness in it. And I would love to see the sequel. I don't know why they didn't make a sequel to it. Now, Pokemon Battle Revolution actually isn't a really true sequel to it, because they did not have the adventure aspect in that game. They just had a battle simulator, sort of like Pokemon Stadium, but it was different. And if they make a sequel of Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, it would just be pretty amazing to see the sequel of this game. They need to make it. I would buy it day one. I know many people would. and I would just love it in Wii U and HD graphics. I think it would be a new refresh start, and it would be pretty amazing to see what they can do in a new version of the game, especially now that the Wii U is more powerful and it has different stuff that you can do in the games. They look amazing, so definitely make a third sequel to the game, or at least a series that has an adventure like it. Thanks for watching my top 5 Pokemon games that deserve a sequel. Let me know in the comment section what games you think deserve a sequel. Also, if you haven't checked out some of my previous videos, make sure to click on those 2 boxes in the middle to go ahead and watch them. Thanks.